Because when a global icon like Chris Martin, who once stood beside the Beatles of the 21st century, is asked to choose from the 7 men who have changed the landscape of modern music, the answer carries more than admiration. It carries prophecy. BTS 7 names that no longer need introduction. They're not just idols. They are the DNA of a generation. Each member has carved his own world, a sound, a philosophy, a mirror of their era. But Chris Martin's hypothetical ranking, if it ever truly existed, has become the talk of millions. What if the man who wrote Viva la Vida, Fix You, and My Universe really tried to define which of these 7 artists could outgrow even him? Fans began to imagine what his reasoning might be. Would it be based on artistry, emotional depth, stage charisma, or perhaps something far more elusive, that unspoken, cosmic spark that makes music eternal? Tonight, we step into that imagination. We dive deep into what such a ranking could mean, not as gossip, but as musical reflection. Each name carries a history, a sound, and a universe. From the eldest, Jin, whose voice carries the ache of timeless beauty, to the youngest, Jungkook, whose every note seems to whisper the future. So, let's rewind the timeline. Let's open the door to that imaginary moment between Coldplay and BTS, where admiration meets legacy and legacy meets destiny. This is not just a ranking. This is an exploration of how 7 individuals could shape the evolution of global sound. Because somewhere between Seoul and London, between stadium lights and studio silence, lies one simple truth. Music remembers who dared to feel deeply and who dared to create endlessly. Now, let's begin. Number 7. Jin, the visual perfectionist. Unexpected depth. From the very first moment BTS stepped onto the stage, Jin was the one who drew eyes, not just for his striking visual presence, which has consistently been called worldwide handsome, but for the subtle, often underestimated depth he brings to the group's dynamic. Many casual observers might assume Jin's role is primarily aesthetic, his vocals supplementary, his presence almost ornamental. Yet Chris Martin's evaluation cuts through that superficial lens and identifies the quiet, strategic brilliance of Jin's contribution. Behind the camera-ready smiles and meticulously crafted stage looks lies a performer who has honed his craft with surgical precision, understanding the nuances of timing, harmonization, and stage presence in ways that often go unnoticed in a group of 7 powerhouses. Jin's musical journey began before BTS debuted, shaped by years of personal discipline and a commitment to technical perfection. He may not be the primary songwriter or the rapid-fire rapper, yet his voice carries a distinct timbre that can cut through the complex textures of BTS's tracks, adding emotional clarity and tonal balance that is essential to the overall cohesion of the group's sound. Chris Martin, in ranking Jin at number 7, acknowledges this paradox. Here is an artist whose visible role might seem surface level, yet his musical instincts and interpretative choices are quietly foundational. It's a reminder that influence in music isn't always measured in who dominates the mic or commands the spotlight. Sometimes it's in the way a single voice can elevate every other element around it, creating resonance that lingers long after the performance ends. Beyond technical skill, Jin's adaptability is a defining feature. He has shown the ability to adjust his vocal delivery to suit the mood of a song, the scale of a venue, and the expectations of an ever-expanding global audience. Whether performing emotional ballads like Epiphany or contributing harmonies to high-energy group tracks, Jin consistently demonstrates an awareness of musical architecture that belies his public persona. Chris Martin's perspective likely appreciates this cerebral quality. The kind of artist who can intuitively understand the role of each note, each pause, each breath within the larger tapestry of a song reflects a level of sophistication that often separates good performers from lasting musicians. Moreover, Jin's impact extends beyond music itself. His presence, humor, and charisma in behind-the-scenes content, interviews, and fan interactions have cultivated an aura of accessibility and warmth that reinforces BTS's global connection. While this may not directly translate to musical innovation, it is an essential component of contemporary artistry. The ability to engage audiences emotionally and culturally, creating a holistic impression that resonates with fans worldwide. From a music industry standpoint, Jin exemplifies the symbiosis between performance skill and public perception. His position at number 7 doesn't diminish his contributions. Rather, it contextualizes them within a framework that considers not only raw talent, but the potential trajectory for surpassing established global icons like Chris Martin. Jin's steady, reliable, and consistently improving skill set forms a foundation upon which other members can experiment and innovate. He embodies a principle that is often overlooked in the modern entertainment ecosystem. Excellence can manifest in consistency, in the capacity to support and elevate the ensemble, and in the strategic choices that balance personal growth with group success. Historically, Jin's growth has been marked by incremental, deliberate improvements. Unlike some prodigiously talented peers who explode onto the scene with immediate technical mastery, Jin's journey is characterized by a careful cultivation of skill, emotional expression, and stagecraft. This trajectory aligns with Chris Martin's assessment criteria, which favor long-term artistic potential over short-term virality or market trends. One of the most compelling aspects of Jin's artistry is his willingness to embrace vulnerability. Tracks like Moon showcase a performer unafraid to explore personal narratives, to inject subtle emotional nuance into his vocal delivery, and to experiment with phrasing and tonal shading. In doing so, he expands his range, not just technically, but emotionally, preparing him for the kind of artistic evolution that can potentially place him in the upper echelons of global music influence. Beyond vocals, number 6. J-Hope, the dance virtuoso, hidden lyricist. When the spotlight hits J-Hope, it doesn't merely illuminate a performer, it ignites a phenomenon. From the first time BTS set foot on stage, J-Hope's presence has always been unmistakable, an energy that is palpable, contagious, and impossible to ignore. Chris Martin's assessment of him as number 6 is not arbitrary. It is a recognition of a multifaceted artist whose brilliance extends far beyond what casual fans often perceive. While many are drawn to the immediate spectacle of his dazzling dance skills, there is a subtle artistry in his movements that reveals a musician's mind at work. Every step, every gesture, every micro-expression during a performance is calculated to enhance the story of the song, to convey emotion beyond the lyrics, and to amplify the collective impact of BTS as a group. Dance for J-Hope is more than choreography, it is language. And Chris Martin, as a musician who understands the dialogue between motion and sound, would likely appreciate the way J-Hope translates rhythm into visual poetry, turning physicality into a narrative device that communicates as powerfully as a vocal line or a guitar riff. J-Hope's journey to this level of mastery was far from instantaneous. His training years were marked by relentless practice, often in isolation, refining not just the steps, but the nuance, timing, and intent behind each movement. This discipline, this commitment to perfecting an instrument of the body, mirrors the precision of studio musicians who obsess over every note and inflection. It's a reflection of an artist who doesn't merely perform, but who constructs an immersive experience, an energy field in which every audience member is compelled to feel, respond, and engage. Beyond the stage, J-Hope's contribution to BTS's music as a lyricist and composer adds another layer to his artistic profile. His hidden brilliance in songwriting often goes unnoticed because it is subtle, seamlessly integrated into tracks that are dominated by other elements. Yet, it is precisely this integration that demonstrates maturity. The ability to contribute meaningfully without overshadowing others, to balance personal expression with group cohesion. Chris Martin's criteria for ranking potential transcendence in music likely value this sophistication. The capacity to influence soundscapes not through volume or ostentation, but through thoughtful, deliberate musical choices. J-Hope embodies this philosophy. His lyrical contributions often reflect optimism, reflection, and intricate understanding of rhythm and cadence, crafting messages that resonate across cultures without losing authenticity. It is this combination of technical dance prowess, interpretative subtlety, and behind-the-scenes musical intelligence that makes J-Hope a unique contender for global influence. Furthermore, J-Hope's charisma is inseparable from his artistry. Whether in interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, or interactions with fans, he exudes an energy that is magnetic yet approachable. This ability to engage emotionally with an audience, to draw them into the experience not just as spectators but as participants, reflects a quality that Chris Martin would recognize as central to enduring artistry. The capacity to merge skill with connection, innovation with empathy. J-Hope's influence also extends to the cultivation of BTS's collective identity. His leadership in dance, his suggestions during rehearsals, and his intuitive understanding of performance flow help shape the group's aesthetic and emotional impact. He is not merely a performer, but a strategic architect, an unseen director whose choices amplify the ensemble while allowing space for each member's unique talents to shine. From a global perspective, J-Hope has emerged as a cultural ambassador, representing the fusion of technical precision, emotional depth, and cross-cultural appeal. His dance videos, often shared and celebrated internationally, have inspired countless fans and performers, illustrating the transformative power of movement. In doing so, he has expanded the parameters of what a modern pop artist can embody, blending physical virtuosity with musical insight in ways that echo the multi-dimensional artistry admired by peers like Chris Martin. Importantly, J-Hope's evolution has been characterized by adaptability. He seamlessly transitions between high-energy performances and introspective solo projects, demonstrating versatility that is crucial in sustaining long-term influence. This adaptability, coupled with his unrelenting work ethic, positions him as an artist whose potential impact transcends the conventional lifespan of pop performers, offering a blueprint for longevity and cross-genre resonance. Moreover, his ability to internalize and execute complex choreography while maintaining vocal precision exemplifies a rare combination of skill sets, highlighting a level of technical and cognitive sophistication that is both inspiring and formidable. In evaluating the potential to surpass global icons, Chris Martin's placement of J-Hope at number 6 reflects an acknowledgement of these layered strengths. The synergy of performance brilliance, musical intellect, emotional resonance, and audience engagement. Number 5. RM, the thoughtful leader, intellectual architect. In any discussion of BTS, the role of RM, the leader and chief architect of the group's creative vision, cannot be overstated. From the very beginning, RM, formerly known as Rap Monster, has served as the intellectual anchor of the group, a figure whose presence transcends the conventional bounds of a K-pop idol. Chris Martin's placement of RM at number 5 reflects a nuanced recognition of the duality in his artistry, a combination of cerebral lyricism, strategic leadership, and global cultural literacy that positions him not merely as a performer but as a visionary. RM's journey is emblematic of disciplined mastery. Before his debut, he immersed himself in hip-hop culture, exploring complex lyricism, wordplay, and the philosophical underpinnings of the music he loved. He cultivated an ability to analyze, interpret, and translate diverse influences into a coherent personal and artistic identity. This foundation has allowed RM to navigate the pressures of global stardom while maintaining artistic integrity, a trait that Chris Martin, himself a thoughtful and analytical musician, would undoubtedly admire. At the heart of RM's appeal is his lyrical dexterity. His verses often blend introspection with social commentary, weaving narratives that resonate with listeners across linguistic and cultural barriers. Tracks like Persona, Do You, and Forever Rain illustrate a capacity to balance complexity with accessibility, depth with rhythm, and personal reflection with universal themes. Chris Martin's assessment likely factors in this ability to craft meaningful music while remaining commercially viable, a delicate equilibrium that distinguishes transient pop figures from enduring musical architects. Beyond his rap and lyrical prowess, RM's influence extends into the realm of production and conceptual design. He has been deeply involved in shaping the sound of BTS, collaborating with producers, guiding musical arrangements, and ensuring cohesion across albums. His insight into the structure of songs, the layering of vocals, and the integration of thematic elements demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of music that parallels his peers in global artistry. RM is not only a performer, but a curator of experience, a conductor orchestrating the interplay of voices, instruments, and messages to craft an emotional and intellectual journey for the audience. Leadership, however, is as much about empathy as it is about direction, and RM excels in both. His role as a mentor within BTS has fostered a culture of trust, collaboration, and creative freedom, allowing each member to thrive while contributing to a shared vision. This leadership extends beyond logistics into the artistic domain, guiding not only performance dynamics, but the thematic cohesion of albums and live productions. Chris Martin's ranking likely acknowledges the significance of this intangible influence. An artist who shapes the environment around them often leaves a legacy as enduring as their individual output. RM's global impact is magnified by his linguistic proficiency and cultural fluency. Fluent in English and deeply knowledgeable about Western musical traditions, RM has served as a bridge between BTS and international audiences, facilitating interviews, collaborations, and cross-cultural engagement. His intellectual approach to music and communication elevates the group's standing in arenas that might otherwise be inaccessible, allowing BTS to navigate complex global markets with authenticity and insight. Moreover, RM's artistry is characterized by adaptability. He has continuously evolved, experimenting with genre, collaborating with artists across hip-hop, pop, and alternative music, and embracing new sonic landscapes. This versatility ensures that his influence is not static but responsive, capable of engaging new generations of listeners and maintaining relevance in an ever-shifting musical landscape. A critical factor in Chris Martin's evaluation of potential to surpass established global icons. RM's introspection and reflective nature are also key components of his appeal. His interviews, speeches, and public commentary reveal a thinker deeply aware of the cultural, social, and personal dimensions of his work. He considers the responsibility of influence, the weight of expectation, and the moral imperatives of artistry, aligning technical skill with philosophical awareness, a synthesis that resonates with Chris Martin's own approach to music as both craft and conscience. Additionally, RM's solo projects, such as his mixtapes RM and Indigo, illustrate his capacity for individual innovation while maintaining a cohesive artistic identity. These works demonstrate not only technical proficiency, but a willingness to experiment with narrative structure, thematic depth, and genre fusion. Chris Martin's ranking would naturally consider this combination of risk-taking, intellectual engagement, and musical sophistication, which are hallmarks of artists capable of transcending immediate popularity to achieve lasting global impact. Number 4. Taehyung, the soulful icon, unpredictable genius. From the moment Taehyung stepped onto the global stage, it became clear that he wasn't just another idol. He was an enigma, a force of artistic unpredictability whose voice, presence, and vision defy conventional categorization. Chris Martin's placement of V at number 4 acknowledges the rare combination of vocal uniqueness, emotional resonance, and creative audacity that defines his artistry. V's voice is immediately recognizable, deep, husky, and resonant, capable of conveying the subtle shades of emotion that transform a simple lyric into a lived experience. Unlike the conventional pop tenor, V's tonal quality carries a timbral weight that adds gravity and soul to BTS's music, allowing him to infuse songs with a raw, almost cinematic presence. Chris Martin, attuned to the power of voice as a defining instrument, would appreciate how V manipulates texture, pacing, and timbre to evoke atmosphere and tension, creating moments that linger long after the final note fades. Yet V's artistry is not confined to his voice alone. His approach to performance and visual storytelling elevates him into a multi-dimensional icon. On stage, he blends movement, gaze, and aura into a form of non-verbal narrative that captivates audiences, transforming songs into immersive experiences. Every glance, pause, or deliberate gesture is charged with intent, creating a visual and emotional dialogue with fans that enhances the musical experience. This fusion of vocal and visual artistry situates V uniquely within BTS. He is not only a singer, but a performer whose presence transcends conventional performance metrics. Behind this enigmatic exterior lies an artist of rigorous intellectual and emotional engagement. V has been deeply involved in the conceptualization of BTS's music videos, album visuals, and performance aesthetics, often contributing ideas that shape the storytelling, symbolism, and mood. His creativity is unpredictable because it draws from diverse influences: jazz, soul, indie, and classical, all filtered through a lens of introspection and emotional sensitivity. Chris Martin's ranking likely reflects the recognition of an artist who combines intuitive creativity with deliberate craftsmanship, someone capable of innovating within and beyond established musical frameworks. V's versatility extends to genre exploration, a characteristic increasingly critical in the global music landscape. He seamlessly transitions from soulful ballads to jazzy undertones, from rock-inflected solos to experimental soundscapes, demonstrating an adaptability that ensures his relevance in an ever-changing industry. This fearless exploration of sonic boundaries signals potential for long-term impact, positioning V as an artist whose trajectory is not defined by trends, but by originality, depth, and expressive range. Moreover, V's emotional intelligence is central to his artistry. His ability to channel lived experience into performance, whether joy, longing, melancholy, or introspection, creates an authentic connection with audiences. Chris Martin would likely note that such emotional literacy is a hallmark of artists who endure, as it fosters resonance that transcends cultural, linguistic, and generational boundaries. V's influence also encompasses fashion, visual arts, and cross-disciplinary experimentation. His willingness to blur the lines between music, visual identity, and storytelling amplifies his artistic footprint, reflecting a holistic approach to creativity that aligns with global standards of innovation. This multidimensionality enhances his potential to not only perform, but to shape aesthetic trends, inspire new forms of expression, and engage audiences on multiple sensory levels. In assessing V's capacity to surpass established icons, Chris Martin's number 4 ranking accounts for the balance between individuality and influence. While V may not dominate production or lead group decision-making in the same manner as RM, his contribution lies in shaping the cultural and emotional perception of BTS's artistry. His impact is felt in the mood, tone, and soul of performances, creating indelible impressions that define the group's identity. V's solo projects further demonstrate his experimental courage. Tracks like Singularity and Blue and Grey reveal an artist unafraid to embrace vulnerability, texture, and nuance, exploring themes of isolation, reflection, and introspection. His willingness to traverse unconventional melodic structures, subtle harmonic shifts, and emotionally complex lyrical content underscores a maturity that belies his age and career stage. Chris Martin's evaluation would recognize that such risk-taking, when coupled with technical skill and emotive resonance, distinguishes artists capable of long-lasting influence from those confined to ephemeral popularity. Stage presence, however, is where V truly transcends expectation. His ability to command attention without overt spectacle, to inhabit a song fully while inviting the audience into the emotional landscape, is a form of artistry rarely taught or quantified. It is instinctual, a marriage of timing, intuition, and authenticity. This type of stagecraft ensures that V's performances resonate on both intellectual and visceral levels, a dual impact that is central to enduring artistic influence. In summary, number 4 celebrates V as a soulful icon whose genius is unpredictable yet deeply felt. Number 3. Suga, the lyrical philosopher, studio mastermind. When evaluating artistic potential, few members of BTS encapsulate the balance of intellectual depth, technical mastery, and raw authenticity like Suga. Chris Martin's ranking of Suga at number 3 reflects a recognition of his multifaceted genius, an artist who not only crafts compelling music, but does so with a philosophical awareness that elevates his work beyond entertainment into cultural and emotional resonance. Suga, also known as August D in his solo ventures, exemplifies the intersection of personal narrative and universal themes. His lyrics are rooted in lived experience, struggles with mental health, societal pressures, self-reflection, but are delivered with a sophistication that allows listeners across the globe to connect deeply. His artistry demonstrates that music is more than melody or rhythm. It is a vehicle for insight, empathy, and intellectual engagement. Chris Martin, an artist renowned for his contemplative songwriting and reflective approach to music, would likely see Suga's capacity for storytelling, layered with poetic nuance, as a hallmark of someone with potential to transcend conventional pop boundaries. Beyond his lyricism, Suga's prowess as a producer and studio engineer is a defining element of his artistry. He has been instrumental in shaping BTS's sound, crafting beats, arranging compositions, and experimenting with sonic textures that push the group's music into innovative territory. This technical command over both the creative and production processes is rare. It demonstrates an artist who understands music not just as performance, but as architecture, a deliberate construction of emotion, rhythm, and atmosphere. His ability to switch seamlessly between introspective ballads, hard-hitting rap tracks, and experimental soundscapes highlights a versatility that is both inspiring and strategically advantageous for long-term influence. Suga's work ethic and meticulous approach to music creation further solidify his potential. Known for immersing himself deeply in composition, mixing, and lyrical refinement, he embodies a level of dedication that transforms raw talent into enduring artistry. Chris Martin would likely recognize that true musical longevity often stems not from immediate popularity, but from disciplined, thoughtful, and innovative craftsmanship, all qualities Suga exhibits in abundance. Another dimension of Suga's impact lies in his ability to convey emotion through subtlety rather than spectacle. His rap delivery is precise yet fluid, his phrasing deliberate, his cadence capable of expressing both aggression and vulnerability within the same verse. This mastery of nuance allows him to convey complex emotional landscapes, engaging listeners in a dialogue that is both intimate and universally relatable. Suga's solo projects illuminate his personal vision and experimental tendencies. Tracks like Dutch Wita and People reveal an artist unafraid to challenge genre conventions, blend traditional and modern sounds, and confront societal and personal issues with honesty and sophistication. These works exemplify a fearless approach to music making, an embrace of risk, introspection, and innovation that Chris Martin would likely interpret as indicators of an artist capable of surpassing conventional benchmarks. Beyond technical skill, Suga's influence extends to leadership in collaboration. Within BTS, his insights, creative suggestions, and ability to synergize with other members enhance the group's cohesion while allowing individual talents to shine. Number 2. Jimin, the emotional powerhouse, stage alchemist. When Jimin steps onto the stage, the energy of the audience shifts palpably, almost imperceptibly at first, then with a magnetic force that sweeps through every corner of the venue. Chris Martin's ranking of Jimin at number 2 acknowledges a performer whose artistry is defined by the rare combination of technical precision, emotive depth, and transformative presence, a true stage alchemist. Jimin's journey as an artist began with rigorous training in contemporary dance, an education that instilled not only physical discipline but an acute understanding of body dynamics, spatial awareness, and kinetic storytelling. Unlike many performers who rely solely on vocal prowess, Jimin leverages the synergy between movement and music to convey narrative, emotion, and intensity. Every choreographed step, every nuanced gesture, every shift in posture is imbued with purpose, transforming songs into immersive experiences that engage both eyes and hearts. Chris Martin, who himself appreciates the interplay of rhythm, melody, and movement, would recognize Jimin's ability to translate sound into tangible emotion as a defining attribute for enduring artistic influence. Beyond dance, Jimin's vocal technique is a masterclass in versatility and control. His timbre is uniquely expressive, capable of delivering delicate falsettos, soaring high notes, and subtle inflections that communicate vulnerability and longing with uncanny precision. Tracks like Lie, Serendipity, and Filter exemplify his capacity to inhabit the emotional core of a song, making listeners feel as though the lyrics were written directly for them. This ability to fuse technical skill with emotional authenticity elevates Jimin from performer to conduit of collective experience, a quality that Chris Martin would value highly in evaluating potential to surpass iconic figures. What sets Jimin apart is his ability to transform audience energy into performance fuel. He is attuned to subtle shifts in atmosphere, responding instinctively to crowd reactions and weaving them into his interpretation of the music. This reciprocal engagement creates performances that are not merely seen or heard, but felt, a form of artistic alchemy that blurs the line between performer and observer. Jimin's artistry is also characterized by fearless experimentation. He seamlessly integrates contemporary, jazz, and pop sensibilities into both group performances and solo projects, demonstrating adaptability that ensures his relevance in an ever-evolving musical landscape. His willingness to explore new techniques, vocal expressions, and movement styles reflects a continuous evolution that aligns with Chris Martin's criteria for transcendent artistry, the capacity to innovate while maintaining authenticity. Emotional intelligence is central to Jimin's impact. His performances convey a spectrum of human experience: joy, sorrow, longing, exhilaration, without artifice. The precision of his movements, combined with the subtlety of vocal inflections, creates moments of intimacy within massive arenas, forging connections that feel deeply personal despite the scale of the performance. This duality, commanding a crowd while creating individual resonance, is a hallmark of performers capable of leaving lasting cultural and artistic imprints. Jimin's collaborative instincts further amplify his influence. Within BTS, he balances assertiveness with empathy, supporting fellow members while elevating the collective dynamic. His sensitivity to musical and choreographic interplay demonstrates not only skill, but an understanding of artistry as a communal endeavor, a perspective Chris Martin would likely view as essential for long-term impact. Number 1. Jungkook, the unstoppable prodigy, global phenomenon. When it comes to the discussion of potential to surpass global music icons, Chris Martin's placement of Jungkook at number 1 is no surprise to those who have followed BTS closely. Jungkook, the Golden Maknae, embodies a rare confluence of talent, versatility, and charisma that positions him not only as a superstar within BTS, but as a potential global phenomenon capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with the world's most influential musicians. From the earliest days of BTS, Jungkook's prodigious abilities were apparent. His voice, capable of traversing delicate falsettos, powerful high notes, and nuanced midtones, has been honed through years of disciplined training and performance. Unlike many artists who specialize in one dimension of musicality, Jungkook has developed proficiency in singing, dancing, and even production, creating a trifecta of skills that make him uniquely adaptable across genres and contexts. Chris Martin's ranking recognizes this adaptability as central to long-term influence. The ability to pivot, innovate, and master multiple aspects of artistry distinguishes performers who leave a lasting impact from those whose fame is fleeting. Jungkook's stage presence is nothing short of magnetic. He exudes confidence without arrogance, energy without chaos, and intimacy without intrusion. On stage, he can command the attention of tens of thousands of fans while making each individual feel personally engaged. His physicality, honed through countless hours of dance rehearsal, combines precision with fluidity, enabling him to convey emotion through motion in ways that few performers achieve. Every gesture, from a subtle glance to a sweeping choreographic flourish, is charged with intention, creating a narrative within the music itself. Beyond technical mastery, Jungkook's artistry is distinguished by a remarkable emotional intelligence. He interprets songs not merely as compositions to be performed, but as experiences to be lived, inviting listeners into a shared space of feeling. This capacity to translate internal emotion into external performance resonates across cultures and languages, enhancing his global appeal and amplifying the potential to influence audiences far beyond conventional markets. His versatility extends beyond performance into creative production. Jungkook has demonstrated a keen ear for composition, arrangement, and sound design, contributing to the creation of music that aligns with both his artistic vision and BTS's broader aesthetic. This engagement with the technical and creative processes of music-making mirrors the level of insight Chris Martin values. An artist capable of shaping sound from concept to execution, blending instinct with craft. Jungkook's potential for transcending traditional boundaries is further evidenced by his solo projects and collaborations. He seamlessly integrates elements from pop, R&B, hip-hop, and electronic music, demonstrating an instinct for innovation that keeps his artistry fresh and relevant. These explorations illustrate a performer unafraid to take risks, experiment with new styles, and push the boundaries of audience expectations, a hallmark of artists who ultimately define eras. Charisma, however, is perhaps Jungkook's most compelling attribute. He possesses a rare ability to connect with both peers and audiences, combining humility with confidence, approachability with magnetism. This duality allows him to navigate the pressures of global fame while maintaining authenticity, a quality essential for longevity and influence in the contemporary music landscape. Chris Martin's assessment likely factors in this synthesis of skill, adaptability, and presence. Jungkook is not only technically accomplished, but strategically positioned to engage, inspire, and redefine what it means to be a global pop artist. Furthermore, Jungkook's influence is magnified by his dedication and work ethic. Known for his relentless practice, constant refinement, and desire to improve across all aspects of performance, he exemplifies the principle that talent alone is insufficient. Discipline, perseverance, and strategic growth are essential for lasting impact. His commitment to continuous evolution ensures that his artistry remains dynamic, relevant, and influential across changing musical landscapes. Beyond personal skill, Jungkook's role within BTS amplifies his impact. As the youngest member, he balances respect for his peers with the ability to lead through example, pushing boundaries in performance, experimentation, and innovation. This balance of humility and initiative reflects a maturity beyond his years, positioning him as both a leader of artistic evolution and a figure of inspiration for fans and fellow musicians alike. Global recognition of Jungkook's potential is evident not only in chart performance and awards, but also in cultural influence. From fashion to social media trends, from collaborative ventures to performance innovation, his presence is felt across multiple facets of contemporary pop culture. Chris Martin's ranking acknowledges that influence in the modern music era is multi-dimensional. It extends beyond notes and rhythms to encompass cultural resonance, artistic vision, and audience engagement. In sum, number 1 celebrates Jungkook as the unstoppable prodigy and global phenomenon, a performer whose mastery of voice, dance, and production, combined with emotional intelligence, charisma, and relentless discipline, positions him as a potential icon capable of surpassing established legends. Chris Martin's evaluation reflects an understanding that enduring impact requires a blend of technical skill, creative innovation, adaptability, and the ability to connect with audiences on multiple levels. Jungkook embodies all these qualities, making him not just a member of BTS but a defining figure in contemporary music. Observing Jungkook, one witnesses the rare convergence of talent, vision, and presence that elevates an artist from excellence to influence, from popularity to legacy. Number 1 is more than a rank. It is an acknowledgement that Jungkook has the capacity to shape the global musical landscape, inspire generations of artists and fans, and redefine the boundaries of performance and artistry. He is the embodiment of potential realized, the golden standard of versatility, and the living proof that in modern music, a prodigy who combines skill, heart, and vision can indeed leave an indelible mark on the world.